Hello, Rory. I'm
I'm,
Karen Pereira from Times of India. So nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. I've had a bunch of interviews, and I keep telling them how much I love going to India. I've never been there. My dad used to sell horses in the Punjab from Ireland, and I heard about India my whole life growing up, and I was so excited to go. And Jeremy said to me, he casually said, "Look, there's a good friend of mine," and he said the name, and I never heard of Anil Kapoor. I'm terrible with this stuff. I've never heard of Jeremy Renner 10 years ago, so I'm very bad with names on celebrities. But he said, "Hey, what do you think about doing a trip to India?" And I just jumped up. Oh my God, I've always wanted to go. And so when it was one of the most extraordinary opportunities. I can't wait to come back. Anil's invited me to come stay with him and spend a month or two with his family. He and I text every week. He's a great guy. I love Anil. He's the funniest guy you'll ever meet. Oh my goodness. So I can't wait to go see Anil again and go see his family and go hang out. So I'll be back soon.
So whose idea was it, to have this show Renovation? And what was the motivation behind this project?
Well, Jeremy was buying these large vehicles on auction sites. He bought a fire truck, and he's like, "Hey, you got to see this, man. I got this fire truck. It's a great deal. Do you believe how much I paid for this? It was just a screaming deal." And I'm like, "You bought a fire truck?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "What are you doing with it?" "It's on its way." He was shipping it from God knows where he bought it. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. And so I thought, okay, so my buddy bought a fire truck. I don't know anyone that owns a fire truck, but I don't know anyone that's an Avenger. So he kind of sat there. To him, this seemed normal. And then he's like, "Oh, dude, look at this other one." And we'd be online like you and I are, and he'd be auctioning away, and then he'd flip the thing, and I'd see another fire truck, and he'd buy it. And so this snowballed into like hundreds of these things. I mean, it mesmerizing. And we kind of both joked about maybe we should do a TV show on it, and then he started to, and I was kind of taking a Shark Tank angle on the businesses that he did. And then he said, "You know something, I think there's something way bigger here. I think we can go talk to organizations that help kids," which is anything to help kids. That's all Jeremy wants to do. And very soon thereafter, he's like, we're going to go talk to Disney. We're going to do this presentation to Disney. And we're sitting on the screen with all these Disney executives. And I'm just sort of sitting there wondering why I'm here. And he's pitching this whole idea. And he's like, and my buddy Rory is going to be the eyes of the audience. I'm useless with mechanic. I can't fix a car. I know nothing. I think I'm more useless with vehicles than Anil is, and that's saying something. And Anil and I had great jokes on set that there's not much either of us are going to be able to do here, other than Anil is this global movie star, and his presence puts a big spotlight on this. I'm useless, but I'm also, I think I'm very curious, and I love learning new things and meeting new people. So I think Jeremy thought I would be the eyes of the audience.
How has Jeremy been since the accident? And, especially everybody in India, all his fans were praying for him. Even Anil Kapoor sent out a tweet and messages. How has he been since the accident? And how excited is he now that the show is finally going to air?
He's doing great. I mean, you've seen him. You've seen his posts. He's on that treadmill that supports his weight. He's starting to learn how to walk. So he's rehabbing and doing everything he can to get back on his feet. And so he's a very determined guy. Anil has been very supportive of him. But I think one of the things Jeremy talks about is this show is a great inspiration for him to get better and to keep going, because it's something that he wants to be able to do. It's something that gets him motivated to move forward. And I think that's one of the special things about this show. It motivates not only viewers, but it also motivates him.
How did you all go about picking the locations? On one side of the world, you have a dance studio and a music booth for kids. And on the other side, you have this water treatment plant.
Yeah.
So how do you decide, which way you are going?
Jeremy does a lot of work behind the scenes for charities and locally in the community that no one knows about. He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't like to make it public. So his network of people around the world and friends that he knows, and he kind of reached out and said, "Hey, what do you know in your country, in your state that is a great organization that maybe we should be talking to, that might would be interested in having an episode done on them." So he really kind of reached out into his personal network of close friends that do a lot of work that they don't talk about. Anthony Mackie does a lot of work, and Neil does a lot of work. Sebastian Yatra and Vanessa Hudgens, they are all involved in helping kids and organizations, and you don't know a lot about them because they don't talk about all of them. So he has this network, and now the other countries he's looking to pick. Now his friends are saying, "Hey, you should come to Peru. You should come over to Argentina. You should come to England." And we've got these great organizations. So now that they've heard about what he's doing in this show that's different than any other show ever in the world, now I think people are being inspired and saying, "Hey, there's this great group in this country you should take a look at for season 2." So how cool is that?
So he's been in touch with Anil Kapoor since their Mission Impossible days?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Anil, it's funny because they don't let me know who the calls are with. So we were in India. I don't know who Anil Kapoor is. And we showed him the screen and I looked at him. I go, "That's the guy from Slumdog Millionaire," one of the movies my kids and I watched. I've watched it many times, and I actually recognized him, and that caught me by surprise. But when I met him at Fort Creole, it was at nighttime, and it was dark, and he was with a bunch of his entourage, and there was people and film people everywhere. And I kind of walked around the corner grabbing a late night snack because we were on different time zones. And they walk around the corner, and he just starts talking to me. I had no idea it was Anil Kapoor. And I think I asked him, what part of the show are you here for? I'm no joke. And he kind of looked at me and very politely, talked about why he was here. And then I'm like, "Oh, you're the Slumdog Millionaire guy." And he goes, yeah, that's me. I'm Anil Kapoor. I go, "Very nice to meet you." And he and I just texted the other night. We text every week or so, and we, always joking and laughing. And he's the most wonderful sense of humor you'll ever meet. This guy is very, very funny, but also a huge heart, and cares a lot about everything around him. So I'm so lucky I got to meet him, and we've become really good friends. And he's invited me to come stay with him in India. So when Anil sees or reads this interview in the Times, Anil, my bags are packed and I'm moving in for the summer. It's not just 2 weeks. I'm coming for 2 months, my friend.
Even better.
Yes, I can't wait to come back to India. I'm in love with India.
What did you love most about your visit to Rajasthan, and what moved you the most, from your visit?
It was one of the most interesting parts was the headmaster of the school was a student. So he actually was a student in that school. That blew us away. That he was so passionate about helping these kids because he was once helped. And that really resonated. And it sums India up very nicely. The big heart, the wanting to help others, the kindness factor that I experienced with so many people in India was overwhelming. And by the way, no one knew who I was. So if you're a movie star, of course they're going to be nice, but no one knew. So I was, and why would they? So I was just wandering around the streets of New Delhi and the markets, and I met everybody. When the show comes out, maybe 1 or 2 people recognize me, but nobody knew. And so they were so kind to me. So it was genuine and it wasn't fake. And so that, to me, I felt so welcome and had wonderful conversations with both people selling me shirts at the deli to the chefs at the restaurant, that we'd meet. And
what were some of your favorite foods that you all tried out?
Oh, butter chicken with naan bread. Oh my God. I swear to God, I had it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I couldn't eat enough of it. I'm Irish Canadian, so we're not big on spice. I've learned to appreciate spices from the Indian food. I've also learned from Anil, don't drink water, drink milk. I didn't know this. So I eat something spicy. He loves sharing his food and drink. So I'd sit next to him and I would eat dinner with him on his bus or at a restaurant, and he's always like feeding me. So he would give, but the stuff Anil eats is really spicy. So I was like, oh my gosh, Anil, what was that? And so he drinks some milk, Rory, drinks some milk. And so he'd give me, I drink water and it would be hotter. So I learned all the tricks of the trade from Anil, who had great fun watching me suffer through spicy foods.
So thank you so much for your time and for all the memories you've shared. Can I get a shout out at to use at the end of our clip?
Sure. What would you like me to say?
Anything to all the people watching in India. And a special note for Anil Kapoor.
Yes, yes. For all the people of India that shared their hearts, their homes, their food, their stories with all of us, I am so grateful. I fell in love with your country. You have so much to teach the world about how we treat each other and how children and families should be treated. A huge shout out to my very good friend Anil Kapoor. He gave us so many laughs and really also represented the country of India as an ambassador. The stories he shared with me off camera and with Jeremy were really inspirational. And I think to the people of India, they're very lucky to have someone like Anil who loves his country so much and represents you so well. So thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you all soon.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for overshooting my time.
Oh God, I'd give you 2 hours. I'd talk about India forever. I love talking about India. So thank you.
Maybe when you come down.
I can't wait, Karen. And hopefully we'll get to meet in person when I'm there next time.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.